and slide at such a pivotal point in the season?
Well, we were doing pretty damn good in those losses. We were down the stretch and trying to learn how to finish games. We were trying to learn how to finish games where the ball had to be and the defensive stops that are necessary. So we were learning as well in those games too, how to finish. So it's a mindset that you have to have. What did you learn? What was your lesson?
A day more with Kayla. How's she doing? And do you expect her to get more minutes tonight, or how do you see her contributing against the Lynx?
We'll see as the game moves. We'll see as the game moves. She's doing a really good job of learning the plays, understanding where her fit is. That takes a little bit of a little time to kind of find your fit, but she's doing great as far as understanding the plays and what we do defensively. And it very well could come a time when we use Kayla Davis as well.
Coming off the game on Wednesday against Washington, is it the kind of game where you really want the team to sit in it and feel it and break it apart, or is it the kind of game you're like, we got to flush that?
No, don't flush that one.
Flush it.
There's many that you do flush, but we didn't want to flush that one. There was many things to learn from in that game, many things, and we went over just about everything we needed to be better with great understanding, and we put it out on the floor. And we want to bring something better in this game. It's all about your response. It's all about your response to what you didn't do so well. But some games you do flush, but this one we wanted to kind of talk through.
And just initially the player's response to that, what have you seen?
The energy and the effort, and knowing how important it is that we are a team that must play 40 minutes of basketball and we have to do it together. There's a level of energy and enthusiasm and excitement that you have to play with. It's like feeling as if, and we talk about this all the time, this is the last game I ever play in my life. In my life, not season, but in my life. So give it that type of energy and effort.
Who would you say, Spoon, is that player on your team? Is there one player, or is it more of a team effort that you go to or look at when you need to see, like, we need more energy in this practice, or at the start of the game, is there someone that's me?
It's everybody. You don't want to put that on one person, but it's everybody for us. Everybody's energy has to be at a very high level. And definitely when you're in practice, because that's where I look for it, is in practice, because it's really true. How you practice, how you play, it carries over. So the energy I look for in practice from everyone.
It's obviously, a great in this game, looking at Nafisa Collier too, and just the season that she's having, how difficult it is to try and slow down with the depth of Lynx have pieces around her, and just the challenge that she's presenting now in this season as well.
It takes all of us. It doesn't take one person to defend her. It takes every one of us. That's why we want to be the greatest defensive team. So you know how great she is. So where is everyone the moment she receives the ball? She sees bodies. That's what you want her to see, is bodies. And then as the ball moves, we want to be able to move and be able to close out, knowing that this team is very good at putting the ball on the floor, very good at shooting the ball from deep. So we want to be great in all those little things that we must do defensively as we play off of what she might do.
That 7-game losing streak, obviously, it got to a point where the team was like, just impact. You could see you guys were getting to an exhausted state of mind in terms of just needing to get that next win. How do you think that this team learned from that, and mentally, so that doesn't get repeated, that this isn't a trickle effect, or this doesn't again slide at such a pivotal point in the season?
Well, we were doing pretty damn good in those losses. We were down the stretch and trying to learn how to finish games. We were trying to learn how to finish games where the ball had to be and the defensive stops that are necessary. So we were learning as well in those games too, how to finish. So it's a mindset that you have to have. What did you learn? What was your lesson from those things that did happen in those losses that we did have? It's not about a carryover. It's about your response. And that's what we're trying to do, is respond in the correct way of what we need to do to go get a win.
We'll go to Carly on Zoom. Carly.
Hey, Spoon. How are you?
Wonderful. You?
I'm doing great. I just kind of have one logistics question. Diamond's kind of been sidelined with this ankle injury. Is there a timeline on whether or not she'll be able to return by the end of the season, or is that still to be determined?
Well, that's to be determined. It determines how fast she heals, and she's normally a pretty fast healer. So it would just be what the doctors say, where she is, how she's progressing. And we just want to look at that more so than anything, of how well she's progressing. Because at the end of the day, what you want to do is take care of her and her health to make sure she's healthy enough to step on the floor.
Right. And then just kind of a question about that last game. You know, you said after the game that it was all energy. Is there something when you went back and watched the film that you saw where it was like, obviously energy is always something that's going to carry the game, but outside of that, was there something that kind of stood out to you, especially in that first quarter, that allowed that lack of energy to kind of stay prolonged through that first quarter, or not really?
There's nothing you can put your hands on to say why. You know, that's up to them. That's up to them. That's in them. That has to be in you to have that type of energy from the very beginning of the game to finish the game. So you can't really put your hands on it. But what you can say is this is not the energy that we have to start the game with. We have to be the aggressors. We have to make sure that we're imposing our will. And that's the most important thing for us, is to impose our will, because every game is important to us down the stretch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.